Over 98% of lemurs face extinction in the next 20 years. Madagascar is one of the largest and most remote islands in the world. We have arrived in Antananarivo, the capital city of Madagascar. We are here to travel to the central highland rainforests to visit the home of the world's largest species of wild lemurs. We have a long road ahead and are spending some time in Tana, short for Antananarivo. This farmer's market is in the center of town. Produce from the surrounding farms arrives early in the morning every day. Soon we are driving through the countryside, heading towards the rainforests in the distant mountains. Madagascar is home to some of the richest rainforests and biodiversity on Earth. After a scenic drive on the main highway, we soon turn off onto the mountain roads, heading towards the rainforest. Ahead is Entisibi-Mentadea National Park, a protected rainforest area. We will spend the night at Vakona Forest Lodge. We get an early start. Recently there have been torrential rains, and parts of our access roads have been washed out. We have gathered our small crew and are on our way into the mountains. We drive several hours higher into the rainforest, along miles of back roads and old logging trails. We pass through the remote villages and camps of the residents and workers who help maintain this reserve. Our four-wheel drive covers a lot of ground and gets us to the end of the road, and we begin our trek into the rainforest. We need to climb several thousand feet higher to the top of the first ridge, where we hope to encounter a colony of indri lemurs.
Plants are going next to it.
This protected rainforest in Madagascar is rich in biodiversity and is home to some of the rarest and most unusual wildlife surviving on Earth. As we get to the top of the first ridge, in the distance we begin to hear the distinct calls of the indri lemurs. Near the tops of the highest trees, in the tender growth of new leaves, a colony of about 8 indri lemurs is having breakfast. Indri are the largest surviving lemur and one of the most endangered primates on Earth. Madagascar rainforest is the only place in the world they exist. Indri lemurs do not survive in captivity. They have a specific diet that only exists here. This is their only home. Climate change and depletion of rainforests is one of the main causes of lemurs facing extinction. Over millions of years of isolation on Madagascar, lemurs have evolved, branching off from other primates into distinct subspecies. This rainforest is home to several varieties of lemurs. One of the smallest is the bamboo lemur. It can fit into the palm of your hand and survives almost exclusively on bamboo. There are over 100 subspecies of lemurs still existing on Madagascar. All are in danger of extinction due to habitat loss. Thanks to the efforts of the Madagascar people and the local community conservationists, these protected forest reserves and commercial wildlife game parks have provided sanctuary. Ecotourism can establish much-needed awareness for the survival of these animals. The IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, considers lemurs to be the world's most endangered mammals. All lemur species face the threat of extinction in the wild within the next 20 to 25 years. On the island of Madagascar, Lemurs have evolved into over 100 unique subspecies. Here we can see the size difference between the tiny bamboo lemur and the much larger Sicaphus lemur. Today we have trekked down from the rainforest and are now visiting Vacona Lemur Island, a private reserve. Here we have the opportunity to visit some of the very different, unique lemur groups. These are the Sifaka lemurs, sometimes called the dancing lemurs. They are at home in the trees and relatively safe from predators. On the ground, they feel vulnerable. So to travel between the trees along the ground, they will take giant leaps sideways. Normally, Sifaka lemurs exist in much more remote, arid parts of Madagascar, near rivers and in spiny cactus forests. They are now given sanctuary here on Lemur Island. Most lemurs fear water and have not evolved to swim, so they will stay on their home island. Lemurs are social and maintain matriarchal family groups. This mother Sicaphus lemur has a watchful baby with her, clinging to her stomach. She is watching out for predators on the ground. Predators include large snakes like boa constrictors and the Fossa, a slender cat-like carnivore endemic to Madagascar. The Fossa resembles a combination of a small cougar and a very large weasel. Madagascar is also home to the invasive Nile crocodile. Crocodiles lurk along bodies of water and are greatly feared by inhabitants. There are no predators in sight today on Lemur Island, and these sifakas have time to forage and play. There are several unique species of very different types of lemurs on other parts of Lemur Island, and it is time for us to go find them. Over 98% of lemurs face extinction in the next 20 years. Lemurs are found exclusively on the island of Madagascar. Due to isolation and lack of many large predators, it is the only place in the world they have survived extinction. There are over 100 unique and distinctive groups of lemurs that have evolved here in Madagascar. Lemurs are primates, but evolved independently from monkeys and apes on the mainland continents. Lemurs are important for research because their shared traits with other primates can yield insights on primate evolution. These sanctuaries are attended to by local citizens. Conservation organizations increasingly seek to implement community-based approaches to save lemur species and promote sustainability. Lemurs are prosimians, a type of primate that includes monkeys, apes, and humans. Lemurs are endemic to Madagascar, where they evolved in isolation. Unlike monkeys, lemurs have a moist nose and rely more heavily on their sense of smell. Today, we know there are over 100 different species of lemurs still in existence on Madagascar. Ecotourism helps bring needed financial benefits and employment to local communities. Protected rainforests and private reserves also maintain habitat for these endangered species. Our next stop is the island home of a troop of common brown lemurs. They are one of the most abundant, hardy, and resilient of the lemur species. These mother lemurs are training their babies to forage and participate in lemur social life. Common brown lemurs have a varied diet of fruits, young leaves, flowers, and grasses. They are also sometimes carnivorous, eating insects and small invertebrates. We are in the midst of a vibrant rainforest, and it is starting to rain.
Yeah, because
This rain is a welcome surprise, and we will continue on our exploration of Lemur Island. We soon spot a troop of ring-tailed lemurs. Ring-tailed lemurs are iconic flagship species in Madagascar. They have a raccoon-like appearance and are about the same size as a raccoon. But they live up to their primate heritage. Ring-tailed lemurs have played leading speaking roles in popular Disney animated films. In conservation biology, a flagship species is a species chosen to raise support for biodiversity conservation in a given place or social context. The rainy season in Madagascar is becoming more unpredictable. Tropical storms are more intense, while droughts are more frequent and last longer. Over 98% of lemurs face extinction in the next 20 years. Thanks to the efforts of the Madagascar people and the local community conservationists, these protected forest reserves and commercial wildlife game parks have provided sanctuary. Ecotourism can establish much-needed awareness for the survival of these animals. The IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, considers lemurs to be the world's most endangered mammals. All lemur species face the threat of extinction in the wild within the next 20 to 25 years.